Sasha here from netbooknews.com, and we're just taking a look at our Acer Netbook collection. Actually, one is missing. We're still at the very first Acer Aspire One 110L. That was the first 8.9 inch with Intel Atom N270. It came out like over 2 years ago. I gave it to a good friend of mine, John. If you're watching this one, I hope it's still alive. But these are pretty much the next 5 generations of Acer netbooks that we see over here. Now let's start in the corner here. That's the Acer Aspire One D150. That was their 2nd generation netbook with a horribly small trackpad and single mouse button and squeezed in keyboard. And you know, I was very disappointed with Acer because I loved the Acer Aspire One, the 1st generation. They had their own style, kind of white screen style, and this was just, I don't know, kind of transition over to a good netbook then again. There's one missing, the Acer Aspire One D250 that came after the D150, but then immediately we have the Acer Aspire One 532H, which is, in my opinion, still the best Acer netbook out there. This one came with an Intel Atom N450, a 63 watt-hour battery, easily runs for 9 to 10 hours, you know, depending on what you're doing with it. A great build quality, unfortunately a glossy screen, but hey, what I really like, can you see that? The color on the lid? So this looks really fancy. Yeah, one of my favorite netbooks. I'm still telling people, if you can get a cheap Acer Aspire One 532H, you know, take a look at it, and especially take a look at it what kind of versions they're selling in your home country, because I'm not sure if you can get the 63 watt-hour battery everywhere. Then Intel made a step forward with their Pine Tray platform and switching over to DDR3 memory, and that's the Acer Aspire One 533, the first Acer netbook with DDR3. It sports an Intel Atom N455, and it's also clocked at 1.66 gigahertz. Just has DDR3 memory. We did a couple of benchmarks. Can't definitely tell that there is a huge difference in terms of performance between DDR2 and DDR3, maybe just a couple of points in the benchmark. You know, something that you would never ever notice while you're using your netbook. The next generation is an entry-level netbook, that cheap one. It's the Acer Aspire One D255. This version over here in Taiwan is getting sold with the Intel Atom N450. There's also a version on the Western market with N550, so the dual-core version of it, which also comes with a 49 watt-hour battery. This version over here only has a 3-cell battery, so you can see how slim this is. And it's a 3-cell battery. I think it was like 28 watt-hours or 26 watt-hours. Sorry. So that cheap. It also is a dual boot system with Android and Windows 7. It's super light, it's super slim, and I think it costs around, oh, that was like 9,000 NTs. That's below $300 US over here. And now our newest Acer netbook, that's the Acer Aspire One that's the Acer Aspire One Happy. Comes with Intel Atom N550, the dual-core Atom, 1 GB DDR3 RAM, 250 GB hard disk, and Windows 7 starter plus Android. So you can also have a dual boot with Android, but this is something that you just don't want to do. It's that cheap, around $349 US or 280 euros over here. So that's their new entry-level netbook, which is using the same enclosure as the D255. You know, hold on, I'm going to show you this. There you can see that this is absolutely the same chassis. If you compare this to D533, you can tell this is already different. It's different hinge. And D532 is another model, and then on top of it D150. So you can see a definitely huge improvement, let's say not improvement, but let's say development between the different generations of the Acer Netbooks. Besides this one, I can definitely recommend the Acer Netbooks. They're very solid, great build quality, especially the 532H, fantastic netbook. I would love to see this one with Intel Atom and 550 in this enclosure with this build quality and with these colors. So this would definitely be a bestseller. Yeah, a huge bunch of Acer Netbooks, and I'm Sascha for netbooknews.com. Thanks for watching.